Ferrari hasn't won a world championship in 19 years. In April 2025, Fred Vasseur made a decision that would either end that drought or extend it into a third decade. He stopped developing the car mid-season completely. Lewis Hamilton spent his first season at Ferrari with 0 podiums. Ferrari finished 4th, 435 points behind the leaders. Vasseur's calculation: sacrifice 1 season and get an 8-month head start on 2026. The Australian Grand Prix just finished. Charles Leclerc led the race, fought George Russell wheel-to-wheel for 9 laps, finished 3rd, Hamilton 4th. Mercedes dominated. Ferrari was close enough to fight, not close enough to win. But here's what nobody is talking about. Ferrari doesn't need to beat Mercedes right now. They need to survive 7 races. June 1st, that's when everything changes. Melbourne proved that Ferrari's gamble worked. Leclerc launched from P4 to P1 off the start, smaller turbo delivering instant response. For 9 laps he traded the lead with Russell, 7 position changes, battery deployment battles. A virtual safety car on lap 11. Mercedes pitted both cars, Ferrari stayed out, gambling on a second VSC. It came, but the pit entry was closed. Strategy mistake arguably cost Ferrari the win. Mercedes 43 points, Ferrari 27. 16-point gap after just 1 race. But here's why that doesn't matter yet. 2026 isn't just about what's happening on track. Ferrari just made a historic move. BingX became Ferrari's first ever crypto exchange partner. The partnership makes sense. Think about what Ferrari represents. Performance at the highest level, precision, constantly pushing boundaries. That's exactly what BingX is doing in the crypto space. Founded in 2018, BingX is now one of the top 5 crypto derivatives platforms. Over 40 million users worldwide. Pioneers of copy trading, making advanced trading accessible to everyone, not just experts. They're building AI-driven tools, futures, spot trading, products that help users make better decisions. They're not new to elite sport either. BingX has been Chelsea's principal partner since 2024, but this is their first motorsport partnership. For us, as people who's been covering F1 for years, seeing Ferrari embrace this kind of innovation both on the car and in their partnerships is refreshing. And there's something fitting about Ferrari partnering with BingX right now. Both are challenging the unknown in 2026. Ferrari has put a lot of effort into the new season. BingX is pushing into the motorsport for the first time. Both the motorsport and the crypto communities were genuinely intrigued. So Ferrari changed everything for 2026. The car, the approach, the partnerships. Melbourne showed that they're very competitive. Mercedes engineered their power unit so the compression ratio measures 16:1 when cold, the legal limit. But at operating temperature, it expands to roughly 18:1. 20 to 30 extra brake horsepower, approximately 0.3 per lap. Ferrari protested. The FIA held a vote amongst power unit manufacturers. It's passed, unanimously. But here's the critical part. The fix doesn't take effect until June 1st, 2026. That's the Monaco Grand Prix, round 8. 7 races where Mercedes keeps this advantage. 7 races where Ferrari is fighting with one hand tied. Hamilton said it post-race, "I want to understand why it's 2/10 or more just through power." He knows, the team knows. For the next 7 races, Mercedes is faster, partially because they found a loophole. But June 1st, the advantage disappears, and that's when Ferrari's real weapons activate. As Ferrari finished 4th in the 2025 Constructors' Championship, that gives them something Mercedes doesn't have, which is wind tunnel time. Ferrari gets 85% allocation, Mercedes gets 75%, McLaren gets 70%. In a budget-capped era, you can't outspend rivals. Development time is everything. Ferrari has 240 wind tunnel hours, 48 more test runs than McLaren. And in a new completely regulation era, that difference is massive. Here's why. When regulations are stable, like the 2025 season, teams converge. The development curve flattens, small gains, huge effort. But in year 1 of new regulations, that development curve is steep. Every upgrade delivers significant lap time. Every wind tunnel session finds performance. Ferrari has more wind tunnel time than anyone, and they're using it aggressively. Sources confirm Ferrari has mapped out strategic upgrade packages across the entire season. China, Japan, Miami, each race brings new parts. And when June 1st arrives, the compression advantage disappears, Ferrari's development rate becomes the advantage. The gap in Australia was half a second per lap. By Monaco, it could be 2/10. By summer, Ferrari could potentially be ahead or equal. Australia validated Ferrari's approach, the smaller turbocharger. Leclerc and Hamilton both launched from outside the top 3 into the podium positions on lap 1. Instant throttle response, no lag. 2026 regulations removed the MGU-H, the system that eliminated turbo lag. Every power unit now has a lag problem at starts, except Ferraris. The cost is top-end power. On straights, Ferrari will be slower. But in Formula 1, the races can be decided in the first 100 meters. The exhaust wing system, small aerodynamic device behind the exhaust outlet, channels hot gases into the diffuser, creates extra rear downforce in high-speed corners. In Australia, data showed that Ferrari was fastest through turn 6, high-speed apex, the exhaust system working exactly as aligned. Only potentially Haas can copy it. The wing position is tied to Ferrari's gearbox differential layout. Every other team would need to redesign their entire gearbox. And that's not happening mid-season. Ferrari will have advantage for months, and there's more coming. The rotating rear wing. When the aero activates, the element rotates 180 degrees, completely upside down. Ferrari didn't run it in Melbourne, but it exists and it's coming. Most extreme active aero interpretation on the grid. Ferrari's philosophy is to push regulations to the limit, find advantages others can't copy, and it seems to be working. Australia wasn't perfect. Lap 11, virtual safety car. Isaac Hadjar's engine failure. Mercedes pitted both cars. Ferrari stayed out. Vasseurs gamble a second VSC would come. Pit under that one. The second VSC did come, lap 19, but the pit entry was closed. Both Ferraris stopped under green flag conditions, lost 10 seconds each. Hamilton's radio, why didn't we do one car at least? He was right. The strategy mistake cost Ferrari a shot at the victory, but Vasseur defended it. The pace of Mercedes was better. When they pitted, they were 3/4 tenths faster. True, but the gap at the flag was 15 seconds, much of it from the strategy. This is Ferrari's challenge. Strong car, but operational mistakes. 2022 all over again. But here's the difference. 2022, Ferrari's development stagnated mid-season. Team morale collapsed. 2026 though, Ferrari has a plan. Survive 7 races, stay within 30 to 40 points of Mercedes. Don't make operational errors that cost wins. Then June 1st arrives and the real fight begins. Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari debut, P7 in qualifying, P4 in the race. Matched Leclerc's race pace, gap at the flag was only 0.6 of a second. His post-race assessment, we are right in the fight. Catching Mercedes is not impossible. He identified the problem. We need to find out whether it's the power or the battery power. The cars are just as quick as through the corners. Battery deployment, that's the gap. Ferrari's energy management runs low in demanding sectors. Mercedes sustains deployment better for now. That's fixable. Software, energy mapping, and development. At 41, Hamilton is the first driver in the century to race for a top team in his 40s. Can he sustain the championship performance across 24 races? Australia suggested yes. Charles Leclerc started P4, led 9 laps, forged Russell wheel to wheel, and finished P3. His preseason quote, "It's now or never. I really hope we start this new era on the right foot." Third place in Australia might be the right foot. Leclerc is 28, 8 years at Ferrari in his prime. Contract through 2029, this entire regulation cycle. If Ferrari ends their 19-year drought, it's with Charles Leclerc. Ferrari built a car around the driver in his absolute prime. In the other garage, a 7-time world champion trying to prove he's not done. One will lead, one will support. Australia suggested they're almost equals. That's a strength, not a problem for now. Mercedes won Australia, dominated it. Russell led 49 of 58 laps. Antonelli second, perfect 1-2. They completed 1,554 laps in preseason testing, 560 more than Ferrari. They used that time well. But Mercedes' advantage might have an expiration date. June 1st, the compression loophole closes. And Mercedes doesn't have Ferrari's wind tunnel allocation. They can't develop as fast. McLaren lost Oscar Piastri before the race started to an installation lap crash. 100 kilowatts of unexpected torque. Lando Norris finished P5, 51 seconds behind Russell. But McLaren's development rate is one of the best on the grid. Andrea Stella was honest pre-season. Ferrari and Mercedes are a step ahead. He's right for now. But development in the new regulations is unpredictable. Norris and Piastri are arguably the most balanced driver pairing in F1. Don't write them off. And Red Bull debuted their first in-house power unit. Verstappen crashed in Q1, recovered from P20 to P6. Hajjar's engine caught fire in lap 11. Reliability issues, growing pains. But Verstappen is Verstappen. 4 consecutive championships. Until someone beats him over a full season, he is the benchmark. Pecking order after Australia: Mercedes, fastest, but with a possible 7 race time limit on their advantage. Ferrari, second, half a second back, but with a room full of development. McLaren and Red Bull very closely behind. All Ferrari gotta do is stay close, don't collapse, let Mercedes' advantage expire, then attack. Here's what makes 2026 different from every Ferrari near miss. 2010, 2012, 2017, 2018, 2024. Every time Ferrari started strong, then rivals outdeveloped them. 2022 is the perfect example. Leclerc won 2 of the first 3 races. Then engine failures. Spain, Azerbaijan, both while leading. Strategy disasters. Hungary, pole to P4 on wrong tyres. Development stopped. Red Bull kept improving. By season end, Ferrari wasn't even competitive. This year, Ferrari mapped an upgrade schedule across the entire season. And in 1 year of new regulations, upgrades deliver massive gains. 2/10 in one cycle instead of months of iteration. That makes Mercedes half a second advantage not permanent. By Monaco, when the compression regulation changes, Ferrari could be equal. And if they're equal with 16 races remaining and maximum wind tunnel allocation, they become the favorites. That's their plan. So, can Ferrari win in 2026? Australia proved that they can compete. Their innovations work. Smaller turbo, exhaust wing, aggressive aero philosophy. The drivers deliver. Leclerc in his prime, Hamilton proving he's not done. The gap is real. Half a second per lap, battery deployment weaknesses, strategy mistakes. But the gap is not permanent. If they can survive the first 7 races without operational collapses, without morale breaking, without falling too far behind, then they hope that the real championship fight begins. That's when the 19 years could end. Do not count Ferrari out. The season is just beginning. Quick note before we go. Seeing Ferrari embrace innovation with partners like BingX, it is refreshing to see them evolving both on and off the track. Let us know what you think about Ferrari's 2026 chances, and we will see you in the next video.